I grew up in Seattle, but originally we were raised a real rural part of Washington State. So when we moved to Seattle, we were having a hard time adjusting. When I got enrolled in school, I didn't really know where to place myself. And in Seattle, there's a huge Asian population, which if you were to just look at me, you would mistake me for, Filipino, Japanese. I never really quite fit in. And so art was one of those ways that I could kind of come into myself and not have to rely on anyone else to help focus. When I discovered that I could use art as a way to control, that was my voice. And it didn't need me to be outspoken, it didn't need me to speak. I ended up getting in trouble for doing graffiti, and I had a few teachers in high school gear me towards using my art and that talent towards a career. And so I ended up going to graphic design school, learned I didn't like computers, and then realized that I could actually do murals and paint with tangible things. Generally when I work, and if it's for a non-commissioned piece, it's just out of my head. If I have an opinion about something, I'll sit on it before I voice it, and one of the ways I process it is by drawing. So some of the illustrations that I do tend to be more detail orientated and it has a lot of symbolism. A lot of the work that I do revolves around Catholicism because I myself grew up Mexican Roman Catholic, which is a lot of things to process and deal with and try to understand. The way that I paint is really organic. I follow the surfaces. If there's anything unique about it, my arm will go towards that and want to try to fill in the spaces. In my head, I'm constantly trying to adjust the design that I've created. Because I work so organically, it might shift and it might change. Because I'm constantly changing and adjusting, I not only get physically tired, I get emotionally tired because it takes a lot of that kind of energy. And so when I'm in my head or zoning out while painting, I'm talking to myself, I'm dancing, I need sugar check-ins. So one of the main things that pushes me as an artist is that I have been trained from really young to think critically about my surroundings and where I am in the community. My mother was an activist in Seattle and my father was an immigrant from Mexico and who ended up being deported. So I have all these things that I'm trying to process and trying to push and have other people understand these narratives so they can help initiate change. So I use my art for that. So when you see me painting, a lot of it will have to do with those activist backgrounds, with those activist rights.
Love is unconditional.